Can Grandma's been to one? Just one?
Yeah.
I bet you've been waiting for these all day, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice for them.
You open it.
Well, are you going to eat some of them and some of them? May I open this for you then, yeah? What colour that one?
Red.
Come by! You've been waiting for these, haven't you, Chuckles? Come on then.
Our grandma was born Gloria Josephine Pemberton, but to many she was known as Grandma Glow, or simply Grandma. Indeed, to many who are here today to celebrate her life, the word Grandma became her unofficial first name.
Great Grandma was born on the 13th of October in 1931 in Queensbury, Bradford. She was the sixth child of 7, and it quickly became apparent that she was the loudest and most outspoken of the bunch. Great Grandma really loved school, especially English, which she excelled at, a talent that she would pass on to many of her children and grandchildren. One of her earliest proud moments was when she wrote a song titled There's Nothing Like Music with her sister June.
When you're falling in love, there's nothing like music. When the stars shine above, when the night stands with splendor, let the music have time. It makes you surrender into each other one. Whenever waves softly, there's a sweet melody. Without any surprise, no romance at all. It's a perfect story, sent from heaven above. There's nothing like music when you're falling in love.
Shortly after finishing school, Grandma started working at Haggassis Mill. It was here that she met Mr. and Mrs. Golland, the director and manager of Haggassis respectively, two people she would come to look to with such adoration. This was during the late 1940s, when times in the country were very hard coming off the back of the Second World War, yet Grandma always soldiered on, with support from Mr. and Mrs. Golland and various other family members.
At 22, Great Grandma married Desmond and was blessed with 5 children: Stephen, Graham, Patrick, Albion, and last but by no means least, Beverly.
Unfortunately, the marriage was not to last, and Grandma muscled on to give 5 children the best possible childhood that she could. It was at this point that Grandma really started to realise just how much love she was surrounded by, as she received an outpouring of support from the likes of her sister Edith and her sister-in-law Margaret and Margaret's husband Fred.
Great Grandma was always very close with Margaret and Fred. Fred especially took on sort of a brother role in her life.
Speaking of homes, one of my favourite memories of Grandma is, no matter where you went with her, whether it was Bradford, a day shopping trip to Manchester or Leeds, even slightly further afield like Blackpool or Morecambe, she would always say the same thing: I used to live here.
By 1965, Grandma and her children were living in Roydhouse Grove, a place where many funny stories can be told. My favourite story is one that Nana told me. She said that whenever one of the neighbours' children would come round and knock on the door, instead of saying, "Can Bev come out to play?" or "Can Steve come out to play?" they would say, "Can your mum come out to play?"
Always an incredibly hard worker, Grandma held up several jobs until her retirement in 1991. Various cleaning jobs, Wilde's Bakery, Morrison's, but she always said her favourite job was working for Parker's Cafe between 1976 and 1981.
Oh, we'll go. Don't cut time, Maud. What are you doing?
Oh, look at your top lip. You've got tram lines on your top lip.
Do you know, when I worked at Parks, it wasn't all that long ago. I never looked my age, but now, you make me old.
In 1970, proving again just how strong she was, Grandma survived a fight with cancer, once again with the support of her strong bond with family and friends.
In 1978, Helen, my mummy, was born. A lot of people agree that this was the moment that Grandma became a different person.
It was this moment that Gloria took on the word Grandma as her unofficial name. Children everywhere, no matter whether they were blood related or not, knew Gloria as Grandma Glow. A lot of these children are here today, now adults, and as we all say our goodbyes, I'm sure they will say goodbye, Grandma Glow.
We all have great and hilarious stories to share about Great Grandma. She had phrases that she would use a lot to describe each of her grandchildren. In particular, she was always quite worried about the twins, Martin and Stephen. She would constantly say, "There's something wrong with them, you need to get them checked out. All they do is play with cars and bash their heads against the wall."
And speaking of the twins, I'm wondering if my mum remembers every time she would call a taxi for Grandma to come all the way down and be on clean-up duties whenever the twins vomited. To Helen, she would always say, "Stop cackling," whenever she laughed.
Yeah, and she used to always tell you to get a haircut.
Why have you pinched my nose?
Oh, shut up, Marty. He talks down his nose. David stutters. There's Ellen cackles. Stephen's got a droopy lip. There's Arbev with a voice like a foghorn. You're a foghorn. He's a... talks down his nose. David bloody stutters. Ellen cackles.
What do I do?
Talk like a simpleton. Thomas is starting. You sound stupid, man.
Look at your face.
I know. Let's get us all doing as David stutter, Martin talk down his nose, Thomas go you. I'm Bev shouting. You cackling. What can I do? Click. I'll be background. Click. 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 Now a bit background.
Grandma's home was always so warm and inviting, especially to the children closest to her. Spending a day there could very easily lead to spending a weekend there, and before you knew it, you'd been there a full week. I myself, along with my brothers and my sister, would disappear there during the summer holidays. It got to a point where my mum would ring Grandma, genuinely worried, asking if I was ever coming home.
And we all know what Great Grandma would say every time the phone rang. "That'll be our Bev."
Hello. Have you got to look at your bag? Josh?
What have you bought me?
By the time I got uptown, them sandwiches had all gone. I told you to go at the morning.
What have you bought me?
Chicken leg.
Have you bought me a chicken leg?
60 bloody pence that cost, didn't have any cheaper.
Eh,
I said, well, go on. I said,
it's for your daughter.
I thought, the old bugger. I thought, go on. I said, let me have it.
Is it warm?
Well, it was, but it isn't now. Got that earlier on, took it home. It was warm, but it ain't now. You can see because it's all stuck to the thing. Bloody I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender. good looking and so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on? Now let me get right to the point. If I do pop my cup for any man I see. Hey, big spender!
Say REC in the corner.
Yeah.
Press it when you want
Are you
to
looking
stop.
with your good eye or your bad eye, Stephen?
Press it when you're ready to stop. Can you see it? Press it. Let's have a look. No.
Budgies and...
Oh, come on, do it again.
What, taking them out again? I've just done it once.
We can't wait to park now.
Do Cosmo.
Yeah. Okay.
We want to be David. I was born under war.
Don't touch it.
Oh, they should be out. Oh, they know.
Okay.
A what?
Mummy! Oh, God. Can I see now?
Right, that no, okay.
Yeah, very easy. Very easy. Very just very fun.
Oh, that was lovely.
What is it then? That's it. I said. Anyway, you don't
Whoa.
give me a chance. You have 5 and then you try it again.
Was in the ship.
2.
Mind.
I'm good.
Do another one now, a different.
Thomas do it.
Do a different
No,
one.
Thomas is doing one now, look.
Yeah, Thomas do
What?
gurney.
Thomas do gurney with mouth. Do gurney.
Like Grandma.
Like this, look.
Look
Watch
at Grandma.
Look. One. Mark up.
Thomas do
one.
it.
No.
Thomas do one. Thomas do it. Watch for me.
Oh, clever boy.
Good. Do another one. Do gurney.
Hooray! Screw your eyes up as well. The ears as well.
Screw your eyes up.
When Helen was around 10 years old, Grandma suffered a TIA, or mini stroke attack. At the time, she was babysitting Helen and myself. I was 3. In one of her bravest moments, Helen took charge of the situation. She phoned an ambulance, stuck some juice in my hand and a custard cream in my gob, and saved Grandma's life.
In 1992, great-grandma took Martin and Stephen to the first ever Bradford City match against Stoke City. Before this time, they were actually Manchester United fans, although they probably never admit to that.
In 1996, at the age of 64, Grandma decided that they should walk to the Valley Parade Stadium, a regular ritual that became known as the pilgrimage. This walk continued right up until 2004, when Grandma was 72 years old.
Great Grandma was always incredibly passionate about football. Being a supporter of Bradford City meant that her team, well, they didn't win very often. Her favourite thing to shout when they were losing was, they weren't washing up and hanging out to dry.
She also had a favourite nickname for whoever the opposing team was. No matter which team it was, and no matter what colour shirt they were wearing, they were blue swines in her eyes.
Everyone here knows about our many trips to Primrose Valley. Next year marks the 30th anniversary of our first holiday there. Great Grandma absolutely loved Primrose Valley, whether it was speeding down the toboggan slide at 30 miles per hour, beating up the baddie in the wrestling show, or winning the Groovy Grand competition year in, year out.
I'm sure everyone remembers Seasiders as well, Grandma's big TV debut. She famously said on that show that whilst she loved Primrose Valley, she yearned to go on a plane somewhere with her grandchildren. She said that being in a sunny country didn't really interest her, and she just wanted to see her grandchildren's faces.
I couldn't go anywhere else. To me, this is part of us, isn't it? Grandma would like to go abroad. I'll be 64 in next year. No,
this year, ma'am. Get it right.
No,
you're 63 now.
Oh, well, whatever. I'm getting halfway to
You were born
70.
in 1931.
I have never, ever been in an aeroplane or abroad. What I want
I
to...
ain't either.
Fair enough, I could go...
We ain't either.
I want to go with Bev, David and all kids. That is what I would like, just once. And that's just what I
And
want
then
to
can
do.
we come back to time?
Yes! And then I would, if I went, then at least I'd go happy, wouldn't I? I'd have been up there, won't I? That is just what I want.
Abroad.
Easy, easy, easy. Well, Bobby Duncan not happy about that, but beautifully dropping over that top rope there by the Red Power Ranger. Watching referee going straight in there. Watch that man, ladies and gentlemen. Was that the flat? I think, ladies and gentlemen. And the support coming well and truly. Hey, referee, I'm watching what's going on with the pizza jury now as well, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think we can allow that, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's enough now. I think that's enough. I don't think that should happen. I think we better leave him now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, what a shame. Oh, give yourselves a round of applause, boys and girls on your inside. Well, not happy about that, but I think what he just deserved as well. Do you agree with me, Primrose Valley? And the drop beautifully done. On the bell of round one. That's the end of round one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it from both wrestlers, Bobby Diamond and the Power Ranger. Seconds to the ring, please. Well, the second Gloria in there straight away. You're going to see. And arguing now, ladies and gentlemen, with the second. She's really telling me, well, true. Give that lady a round of applause. Well done.
No, I just like someone to see the face.
It doesn't interest me though. Doesn't interest me at all because you just won't get the entertainment.
Yes, but
All it is abroad to me is hot sun, and I don't like hot sun. So
No, but you don't have to go for hot sun.
well, what else? do you go
Austria. Or somewhere, as long
for?
as it's up
Everybody
in there.
freezing there. It snows.
Oh, give up. But, no, but the thing is, you see, all my grandchildren are growing up, aren't they? They're going up and up and up. They'll all be working and whatnot. Beverly and Dave, they'll all go. And I might not be here. And I'll feel so sad,
If you're not here, you won't feel sad. You won't here to feel bloody sad.
She got her wish when the whole family took a trip to Mallorca, and then later took another trip to Lorette de Mar. Matthew, I'm sure you remember that holiday. Do you remember shooting Grandma in the bum?
To clarify, it was a BB gun, and Grandma did actually ask to be shot with it because she didn't believe it would hurt. She ended up with a big red mark on her butt cheek pretty much for the rest of the holiday.
Being such a huge part of your grandchildren's life meant that any and all potential girlfriends and boyfriends had to go through a grandma test. Do you remember that, Dad?
Luckily, Grandma took to them all straight away, and she gained new grandchildren. A lot of these past and current boyfriends and girlfriends are here today, and I think one of Grandma's proudest moments was when Martin and Alexis asked her to be best person at their wedding. I know none of us will certainly forget her legendary speech.
It's me now, the gaffer. I would just like to thank everybody for coming. For these two.
Come on, get on it!
You are. Don't you start, Jed.
Don't you pick on me?
Oh, well, I'll pick on you. Right, it's been an honour what they've endowed on me, these two. A honour. I love you. I love them so very much. I really do. I really do. Yeah, I love them. I'm gonna cry. You come.
All right. Come on.
I just love them all so very much, you know, and they had a big part in my life, going to Bradford City and everything. All these pilgrimages that we did. We did all these pilgrimages. Stephen Martin and Stephen. Where's Stephen? Stephen, where's pilgrimages?
You go on it.
I don't know.
Oh, Big Panther, you'll be alright, yeah. Just like you'll be alright.
Anyway, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody. It's been, you know, been a pleasure, right? Thank you very much. I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about my grandson Martin. I am close to all of my grandchildren, but Martin and I share an extra special bond, maybe because when he came home from hospital as a baby, I looked after him, and his mum Bev looked after his twin Stephen. Whatever the reason, he has asked me to be the best woman at his wedding today, and I am honoured. Since being a little boy, Martin has always been in scrapes and accidents, but it seems to work out for the best with him. A few examples for you. Right. When he was a baby, Martin had a hernia, which meant that he had to have an operation. It has left him with a scar that he can use to try and impress girls with.
Don't talk about yourself.
When on his way to my house, he got run over by a car and hurt his leg. Luckily, the woman driving the car was a nurse and took care of him. Not only that, but because of his leg, he got a physiotherapist to come and treat him. She was blonde and beautiful. Martin's dad, David, seemed a little disappointed when he needed similar treatment and didn't get the same person. My final example is based on Martin's love life. He split up with his on-off childhood girlfriend when he was 18 and was more than a little upset. But a few months later he met Alexis and found true love. Luckily she felt the same and they got engaged. They have survived a distant relationship while Alexis was at uni, only seeing each other at weekends, and even harder, seen each other almost every day once she left uni. But 6 years after they first met, they are still together. And I know you all join with me when I wish them all the best for their future together, Martin and Alexis.
Morning, Officer Jackson. Nice day, isn't it?
Not bad.
Are you off duty today?
Yeah, I'm just going to have my dinner.
Enjoy it, won't you? Because you deserve it, don't you?
Oh yeah, don't worry, I will do.
Get off his silly son. What's he doing? Please no. Police, help!
Oh, woman with golly. Say something.
I'd get 2 minutes of that.
I need to.
The thing to do is ask who wants to get in it.
Care to give us any exciting words of wisdom?
Oh no. Thomas and Abadu.
What?
Thomas and Emma and Martin.
Over there, one of you needs to
Okay, I'll Sorry?
No, you don't have
Filming.
Why do you only have to have
I think
Filming.
the couples in a hat and pick them out.
You should have been. Didn't know they were there. Let's have a look.
You were singing, Glow.
Yeah, no.
Carry on.
You're not.
She won't look at it now.
Just you wait and see. The shepherd will tend his sheep. The valley will bloom again. So you on Thursday, when it's my birthday, don't forget my card. I won't forget your card, I've got it anyway, haven't I? Hold me no. See ya. Oh, that tin ended up. So I buy a Bobby, man. Oh, where's Bobby? Oh, look at him, he's going mad, Thomas. He's well at home, isn't he now? Bye, Bobby. But she don't like him, though. She don't like him, you know. What? Look, what? She don't like him. I didn't say that.
She's got her fingers.
I just said I don't like dogs. Oh, so do you like him? I like him, yeah, he's alright. Billy. Bobby. Right, I've touched him now. I'll see you in Thursday, probably.
See you Thursday.
See you later, Mum. I'll see you later, love. Where's Mark? Where's Mum? Stephen's got it.
Everybody for the gap of sleep on me and Bobby.
Great Grandma has always been a bit of a comedian, which is why we've tried to make this eulogy as funny as possible. She always had a lot of pride in her straight to the point humour.
And that humour lasted right up until the end. Grandma had quite a few places she called home during the last few years of her life. Of course, I'm referring to the lovely care homes Grandma stayed at, namely Staveley Court, Homewood and Parkfield. It took a special type of care to look after Grandma, and all of these places did wonderful work to ensure Grandma felt at home.
There was a small period where Grandma moved in with Bev, David and Tom, and the three of them, along with the rest of the family, pulled together to give her the best care they could.
I personally will always refer to this as one of the funniest periods of my life. As we've discussed, Grandma was a natural comedian, and so actually living with her 24/7 was a comedic delight. I remember one night I was putting her to bed, and as we were walking up the stairs she asked, "Who built these chuffing stairs?" I replied, "Well, I don't know." To which she said, "Well, whoever it was, I'm going to hit them with my shoe." I'm sure most people here have also seen Grandma Style on YouTube. I shot that during a day when I was looking after her pretty much all day, and it really signifies how Grandma was always up for any kind of laugh, even during her latter days.
This is Grandma Style. This is Grandma Style. Hey, you sexy fellas. Oh, 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 oh. This is Grandma Style. Hey, you sexy fellas. This is Grandma Style. Is that what they're calling it now?
Yeah.
Savillesville.
The council have now extended the deadline. Commingle is live for us in central Sheffield.
Big spaces. So are all the traders moving from over there to over here? Well, it wouldn't seem so. I've got here two small owners who come from generations of family traders at the Carlton Knight and Dean Barry. Oh, have you filled in your application form? No, we've got
It's all been done up, look. That's what they're saying, that they haven't finished it yet.
It is great. We all want a new market, but it's the...
What are you watching? What are you watching?
Watching them, they're not getting
Sure, we'll be revisiting that story before then.
getting all the stuff down.
In Rugby League and the
I'm into Wembley. Look at them two that's got ready for going. Elderly. You can't walk to City and Borough. Can't beat it, can you, lad? Legend of Bradford City. There's only me saying out in here. Oh, look at them all. You don't do that in other places. My head's Rahama.
Temperatures rising to around 3 or 4.
It's going to be a cold one and a sad one.
Cloudy for Sunday, both here.
What is it you're eating?
Some of that.
Huh?
Some of that.
Yeah, but what is it?
Pizza.
Are you alright eating without your teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah. You must have strong gums.
I have. Strong bones and strong songs and all.
Right, go.
This is Grandma's.
No, put them on first. But you've got to put them on first.
Yeah.
Then say this is Grandma style. Not yet. When I say go, put your arms down.
My arms down.
Yeah, put your arms down.
Well, can I? I've got two of these.
No.
Hey, you yexy fellas.
You said yexy.
What's he doing with me?
Great-grandma was always the kind of person who found it very easy to make friends. She made friends with every single one of her carers, to the point where each of them felt part of our family.
Grandma poured out so much love throughout her life, and she had so much love poured back. It's absolutely amazing to see so many people here today, and this is exactly what she would have wanted, a way to celebrate her life with as much laughter as possible. Grandma wasn't just my grandma. She wasn't just Matthew's grandma, and she wasn't just Helen's grandma. She was everyone's grandma. Everyone who's here today. She was grandma to the wonderful carers at Staveley Court, Homewood and Parkfield. She was grandma to the various children in her life. Leanne, Daniel, Chris, Paul, Rachel, Ben, Stephanie. She was grandma to the people she grew up with. The Carters, Batchers, Crangles. Families she lived next door to for years and years. Friends of friends whose lives she had touched. Hoopers, Hargreaves, Mellors, Hesps, Jones, Bibbies. All of these people are here today, which is exactly what Grandma would have wanted. She counted us all as one big family, and she was Grandma to us all. Love you, Grandma. Thank you.